Hani, Bojo, Kwe Kwe, Tanzi. Hello, it's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in the Georgian Bay area of South Central Ontario, here with your Indigenous perspective on all things cartomancy. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back to my beloved friends and old timers, as it were. This week is a little bit different. We had 2 weeks with some mysterious tree messages. And then I got a comment response from Kat Jr., my goddaughter of sorts, asking, or suggesting, not asking, but suggesting topics and things like relationships and thought processes and things of this nature, which I've taken under advisement. But this week's general focus relates to ancient history, and the stone people being the ones who have recorded our incarnations and that of the earth and everything on the earth back to the beginning in the geological record, and have all the means of utilizing the knowledge we've learned, as in crystal work, to help us. But it's more than that. This week, the ancestors wanted birds. Birds live in trees. Maybe it's a follow-up. But no, it wasn't quite that way. The guides weighed in on this, and it goes back to the dinosaurs. We know now that dinosaurs were the ancestors of birds, and the winged ones are the ones that travel between our dimension and the collective whole, the great mystery, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the all that is. And so these wise beings are supposed to have messages for us for the next 2 weeks. And in thinking about that, you know that seagulls came from pterodactyls. If you've ever walked through places like Little Lake Park and have them dive bomb your French fries, yeah, that's definitely, Jurassic behavior. But it's the connection between the spirit world and the ability for birds to see the greatest, biggest picture. Even the smallest sparrow can fly to a level where it sees, excuse me, much more with greater clarity than even humans can. So all these bird decks, since that's family with thunderbird and pigeon and all these totems that are in my lineage, I've collected bird-themed decks for a long time. Some of them are out of print, like the Londa Marks deck. Some of them are specialty decks, and they all work together, but there's a whole lot of crows, and we know that crows are shaman. They shapeshift into shaman. They are the ones that pull us into our work in the other dimensions and in the shadow side. So, all that being said, we have this week the murder of crows. I happen to get both versions, and mercifully it's mass market. It wasn't originally. The Raveness Dracon tarot, because of course dragons fly, and dragons must be an intermediary between the dinosaurs and contemporary birds. The Medieval Feathers tarot, that's a stunning Marseille deck. If you're into tarot, grab it. The Emerald Papyrus of Thoth. and it has a companion deck, the Soul Shift. We have the Winged Enchantment, the Divine Feathers, the Urban Crow Tarot, and if I haven't mentioned it and I grab it, I will bring it forward. Now, you may have caught the Emerald Tablet deck. That's Egyptian themed, because when Spirit was talking about birds, they talked about the ancient bird-headed gods like Horus, who was a hawk, at least the head of the hawk, and Thoth. Now, I thought of pulling out a Thoth deck, but I don't think it would have gelled quite with this exact grouping of cards. But Thoth the Atlantean was pictured in hieroglyphs as an ibis bird head on a man's body. So there's a lot of interrelated linkages here, and as this set of decks covers the back half of Loves All Things and the first half of She Who Heals, I think there's a clue in that for why these decks are used. So, without further crazy ass explanations, let's go to the cards, Brian. So these 7 cards are from the Ravenous and Dracon deck, and I have one each from the other decks. Whether they're tarot or whether they're oracle doesn't matter. They can all be used in the clarifying position. So this is spooky good as I look down at it now. The first card is a reversal, and I left it in as a reversal. I asked Brian to douse. I will turn it around so it makes better sense visually. It's the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords in reverse is coming out of a self-imposed fear entanglement that has no rhyme, no reason. In other words, we keep ourselves tied up, and we really aren't tied up with our thoughts and fears and terrors. So this card is telling us that we are freeing ourselves from those kinds of overthinking fears and the what ifs and the living in the future, not being in the moment. We are returning to stasis when this card is in the reversed position. I'll leave it upright, but just remember it's reversed. And as if we didn't have enough crow cards in this reading, from the Divine Feathers or the Winged Enchantment, I can't remember, this is the crow. And so I looked up what they could possibly have to say further about crow to clarify this card. And this is spooky good. I'm going to read it directly from the book. I am Crow, the walker of worlds. I am sacred law. I am a siren of merging realities. I am the all-pervading cosmos and signal your future catching up with you. I am the order of space and time. I am the fabric of the unwoven. I am the soul's most lucid dream that signals your readiness to leap into the dark. Excuse me. You cannot run from your chosen path. You cannot deny cause and effect. I am the universal mind that seeks connections. I urge you to support your intentions and see them through. Make the effort to manifest and stop ignoring the role of your own mind. Creation is a process, and the tangible always comes from nothing. You are shaping everything around you and orchestrating the unseen. Meld into the future and become what you have chosen. You are exploring the boundaries. You are finding the path. You are lucidity. You are Crow. So Crow is emphasizing here that in bringing ourselves out of our own bondage, we can then move on to what it is that we need to do. The next card is the Queen of Cups. So this is a queen full of intuition and the sacred way of right relationship. She is the one who has the emotional maturity, is into self-care and looking after self, knowing that she cannot look after others if she does not look after herself first. And so this is a very good queen to be looking upon this pair of cards. She is clarified by the Priestess of Discs, which is Pentacles. And in this deck, the Priestess is the Queen. So we have a Queen clarifying a different Queen. So this is emotion and intuition, and this is the fire in the belly, the espiritus, the capacity to make things happen in the wands or the fire element. So it's interesting, we have the fire queen and the water queen. Perfect balance. Then we have the Two of Wands, and two cards, the number 2, are always about balance and yin and yang, two sides of a coin, being at peace. So this suggests a decision needing to be made. And because it's Dracon, that says to me, it's karmic in nature. So there's a choice to be made, and he's wound his tail around here as if to choose that path. We don't stall, we choose. As the Crow says, we need to move forward now. And it's clarified by the Two of Coins, which is, again, choice and balance. This is a Marseille deck. So balance, clarifying balance. Queen, clarifying queen. This is lots of fun. We have the Judgment card, so a major arcana card. Please excuse my voice. It still remains problematic. Judgment says we are the only ones who can judge what is the right path and the right way. Oftentimes, we will spoil something by sharing what we believe to be true about our journey with others. There are people out there who seem to be good-hearted, but yet will tear down our dreams and beliefs. So this is a hold your wings close to your chest there and judge for yourself. I can't make this stuff up. This is the balance card from the Urban Crow's Oracle. Keeping and maintaining balance is obviously in our best interest for everyone collectively. We need to maintain balance. Moving on, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So here we had the 2. Now we have the Ace. So this is telling me that we have a secondary set of choices about our energy, our resources, our earth life. Could be job, could be relationship, but something new is incubating. Beginnings are happening. And the clarifier here, which is the Nine of Cups, says very clearly that our wishes and desires will be fulfilled, and it will be with purpose and in the way of right relationship. The next card, the Eight of Wands, looks a bit chaotic, but this is our high energy, moving with purpose and rapidly. We know by this point exactly what we're doing here with this incubating idea, and Spirit is telling us to move quickly with it. The clarifier here is the Starling card. Now is the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. So, very important here. This is such a screaming at us, stay balanced, come back into balance, and stay in balance. And finally, the Temperance card. So we have a couple of major arcana cards here. The Temperance card is usually an angel. This is a wise owl. She is blending, I'm assuming it's a she is blending the divine spirit information and resources with our earthly walk as an alchemist would. So there is a divinity to this. There is a soul relativity to this act of temperance. So by the time we've moved through all of these situations in this week, we will actually being the alchemist, not just within our own lives, but in the greater good. And that's clarified by card 21 of the major arcana, the world. So the world is ours. And that says to me, since this is a collective reading, and I've repeated that 3 times, it's a collective reading. If all of us are doing this, and all of us are meeting Spirit on Spirit's terms, and Spirit is meeting us on our terms, imagine what we could do collectively in terms of the chaos that's in the world right now. It boggles my mind. I have a hard time conceptualizing something that big and that great. But it feels very good and it gives me tingles. The sympathetic nervous system response to the presence of Spirit. You can flip the camera, Brian. Well, that's a barn burner. Nothing in the lunar world is happening in this period of the 14th to the 20th. But we are getting ready for a week where we have a change of signs from Cancer to Leo. And after the first day of Leo, we have the new moon of She Who Heals. And we'll discuss that next week. But the birds will be back for that reading. Anyway, we appreciate your support. It can be as simple as a thumbs up, liking the video, leaving a comment is extra support. Joining us on coffee, sending me a coffee, literally. Some of you are very generous with the e-transfers and things, and that helps with us keeping our equipment up to date and functional. Anyway, blessings for this time. And remember to honor this last week of Loves All Things, because she's still very present. Miigwech, Yahweh, Aho, peace.